Lots of finger pointing. I saw that retweet.
Finger guns are my problem.
Lots of finger guns.
When in doubt, it's always the hey.
All right. Huzzah.
Yeah, literally.
All right. Finger guns. Here we go.
Hey.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the brand new year and brand new decade.
Woo!
Yeah. Woo! So this is the new rugby podcast here at USA Rugby called Between the Posts. Mm-hmm. Here, the Jess Dombrowski. She is our eligibility and membership manager, along with myself, Chris Turner, the club and college communications specialist. So, Jess, how was your Christmas? How was your New Year's? What'd you do?
Well, I did the lovely drive all the way back to the Midwest from Colorado. So if you are familiar with it, it's about 900 miles straight on 80 West. But I got to go home. I hung out with family, kind of bounced around from place to place to place, but saw some family, saw some friends, and honestly, I really just kind of slept a lot. Yeah. And it was really nice. My mom was like, "Do you do anything other than sleep when you're home?" And I don't know. It was relaxing though, but
that was nice. Any big highlights? Any monumental things that happened back home, or is it more or less just making really good friends with your childhood bed?
Definitely that. I would say to highlight, it was 60 degrees, which global warming, not the greatest, but also not mad about a 60-degree Christmas day and can go and hang out outside and do stuff. So, just. Honestly, it was pretty chill. I just kind of spent the time going back and forth to different people's places. So, but definitely happy to be back and starting the new year. But how about you? Anything fun and exciting?
Went back to Northern California, where I'm from, to Sacramento. Shout out to everyone. It was pretty cool. I did an alumni touch game at my high school, at Jesuit High School. Again, shout out. But so
did you guys win?
I did well.
Okay. It tells you all you really need to know.
We didn't really keep the score,
Yeah, just
the points
for
really didn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was for fun. I saw a lot of kids that I used to coach. They're all grown up now, and they're literally all 6'3". And
I love that.
Hey guys, what's up? I remember when you were
lifestyle.
literally shorter than me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did that. That was pretty fun. Saw lots of people. Hung out with some great friends. Did the whole route and routine thing. Went up to the Bay. Met my brother's girlfriend's family because they're getting serious.
Oh, okay. And
so yeah, I mean they're great people.
Nice.
I love them, and hopefully they liked us. But that was all fun.
Nice. And top Christmas present.
Okay, I know.
Or top 2 or 3 if you can.
Well, we're getting in the age that we're receiving mostly clothes for Christmas, which
or kitchen supplies. Honestly,
totally fine with either, or food or anything. Listen,
pay my bills.
Yeah, no judgment there. But so I got a lot of good clothes, but I honestly want to say the best present was the one I gave myself.
Which was?
It was a kind of a nice North Face jacket.
Okay.
So it was like a hybrid, kind of like a winter fall jacket, but you could kind of use it for anything.
So we're up in the fashion game for 2020.
Up in the fashion game. Next stop, shoes or boots, but who knows?
You got to start somewhere. So
right.
I love that.
What about you? What was your favorite gift?
I got a weighted blanket, which was really nice. So I'm pretty addicted to it.
So something to give you more incentive to not get out of bed.
To just kind of curl up and not have to go anywhere.
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited about it. So thanks, Mom, if you're watching. There's the finger guns again. Just gotta put those away.
No, keep them going.
Yeah.
Keep them going. All right. We got no open carry laws around here.
Yeah.
Okay. So just let it ride, Jess. So welcome to the 20s, folks. That's pretty wild, right? So. Me and my friends, of course, have still been talking. I'm sure you guys have been seeing all the memes out there about, the roaring 20s and how we're finally into this
We've
decade.
We've just done full reversal of everything.
But how crazy is that? Let's just say in 20, 30 years from now, it's I remember the 20s.
Yeah.
Where that to us growing up, that's a industrial revolution.
Yeah.
In our minds at least.
Very weird time.
Very weird. But I mean, since we're in this brand new decade, crazy things are happening left and right.
Oh, that's for sure.
What are some of your predictions for this upcoming decade? Let's talk rugby a little bit and maybe tech.
So rugby, I'd love to medal at the Olympics. Maybe even, we got 2 Olympics in this decade, right? Yeah, that's how that works, the 4s and the 4. I don't know. Math is never my strong suit. I'd say medal in the Olympics. Love to do that same at a World Cup. For me personally, I'd like to go to a World Cup, not play, don't worry. And I think overall, I'm still a little bit disappointed we don't have any sort of flying cars or hover vehicles because I just feel like it's such a missed and wasted opportunity. from watching them and, the Back to the Futures and all of that.
Yeah.
It's just like this total game-changing thing. And
well, the Cubs did win the World Series. That's one thing they predicted.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a White Sox fan, so I still refuse to acknowledge it. But, hey, we're signing a lot of people to the White Sox, so hopefully next year's our year. We'll see.
There it is.
Then we'll really come full circle. So
yeah, right.
Yeah, how about you? Anything fun and exciting?
Well, I feel like USA Rugby, men's or women's, and I can't say which one, but one of them, I feel like we will crack the round of 8 in a World Cup in this decade.
Yeah.
I don't know who's gonna do it, but I feel like one of the top teams, men or women's, is gonna crack it, and we're gonna make some waves.
Yeah.
And also, one of our sevens teams is gonna finish first in the world.
Yeah.
Both of them actually finished number 2. The women in 18 and the men in 19.
Yeah.
And that was just like so close, right?
And here we are.
But hey, I feel like this decade it's gonna be pretty fortuitous for us.
Yeah.
So glad I actually pronounced that right.
Fortuitous?
Yeah.
Can you spell it though? That's the real question.
Nope.
No.
Don't
That's
even
what spell
try.
check is for. So.
But yeah, I feel like good things on the horizon for us as a as an organization and with our high performance teams and everything like that. And then plus the MLR is just gonna be exploding in this next, and the WPL hopefully following suit. So lots of good things on the horizon, I feel. But tech-wise, I'm just ready for automated cars. Seriously, like
just kind of kick back and not have to really worry about driving and keeping your eyes open on the road.
I'm not a big traffic guy at all. And
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know, we work out here in Lafayette, Colorado, and live in Denver or even more south of Denver. So I get a 40-minute drive.
Hour to an hour 15. It's a good time.
So how nice would that be to continue sleeping, to do work or eat or watch a movie or whatever while you drive? Like I just need this to happen because it's just I don't like constant go and stop. And it's just like let the car do that. Like
there's a movie, an old Tom Cruise movie, Minority Report. You ever see that one?
God,
so basically they have these cars that look like there's 2 couches and then there's kind of like a dome over them and they just are on essentially the kind of like moving walkways from the airport and they just move and then they'll get on the interchanges and they just do it all themselves. So you're just hanging out on the couch and that would be very ideal. Or flying cars. I've
actually seen a guy, it was like a YouTube video or something like that. I think it was in LA because LA has terrible traffic and it just moves like 3 miles an hour all day. There was a guy in his Tesla sleeping.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, that is me. And I want it to be me. I can't afford a Tesla.
Yeah.
But I just want it, like everyone to be sleeping on the interstate.
That'd just be so nice.
Road rage would not be a thing anymore. And we would all get along a lot more happier as a society.
You're painting a pretty picture there.
I'm an optimist. I don't know. All right, so anyway, to kind of roll right into what's been going on in the rugby atmosphere of things and of teams or clubs or anything like that, we've had a lot of like a slew of under 18 games that have gone on. The men and the women under 18s have both played Canadian under 18 teams. Yep. See, fortuitous, but not Canadian. I don't know. But so the men went 2-2 against Canada, and the women went. They just had one game, correct? And they
lost. It was a very close game, though.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, anyone that's been keeping up with any of these scores, they're all within 2 tries and a conversion each, which I think is a beautiful thing and yet a very frustrating thing when you kind of come out on the other side of it. But, from following all the updates and looking at the player pools, like it's just kind of been one of those back and forth things. And, kind of like you were saying, going back to the decade predictions of we're going to medal, we're going to end up in first. These are the players that are going to do it.
For sure.
So by that time, they're all going to be not 18 and under. They're going to be 26, 27, and that's how math works. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's how math works, I think.
Always second guessing. It's super exciting.
Nice. Yeah. So for the boys, at least, it looks like they had a blue and a red team, so they're just kind of getting. And of course, they had a lot bigger of a player pool to grab from.
Yeah.
So they kind of wanted to gauge, who could play well with different combos and all that. So they at least had more opportunities than the women did. Where the women was kind of like, here's your one shot, let's see it.
Yeah, I think there were 28 U18 players. I'm pretty sure right around there. Winter is just like one of those huge times for them to do the little assemblies, and there's most of these players have actually all done one before, which I think is the cool thing because that means that pathway and that system, it's working because we're bringing those players back and we're kind of elevating that gameplay. And, some of these girls, I have absolutely zero doubt that we'll see them on the college varsity scene and like the WPL scene in like the next couple of years, and probably kick a couple of us out of a spot. So it's an exciting time, that's for sure.
And I truly, piggybacking on that, I really think that not only are they going to be making waves within the USA team, but also college, but I feel like a lot of them are going to be doing it at the same time.
Yeah.
Because we've seen
There's that huge tidal wave of talent coming up. Right.
And again, at least the collegiate sphere of things, like our head coaches for those teams have never been afraid to recruit from college. And, age, yes, is one thing where it comes to wisdom, but actually having, that developmental experience growing up and having that in your back pocket for when you do make a national team and are a regular starter, that's just immense experience in your back pocket, I feel like.
Well, and even I think another interesting thing is you're saying that coaches aren't afraid to kind of recruit. We have, if you follow it, the Next Olympic Hopeful, which is kind of the TV show basically of the top, I don't actually know, 60 maybe they do, athletes in the U.S., and they basically all kind of come together and they go through a variety of trainings, and at the end of the camp, 6 people get invited to go to an Olympic essentially kind of like a tryout for Team USA. So, cool. I think it was like bobsled, and I believe there's like a weightlifting or a boxing one. Rugby's part of it. And, for example, one of our wingers that started for our U18 team, she won the Next Olympic Hopeful. I don't believe she has a rugby background, and she was slaying it out there after a week of playing rugby. Could you imagine playing U18 level after literally starting rugby just not that long ago?
That's insane.
It's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, so just knowing that there's this upcoming U18 talent pool, but then where that's all kind of coming from and stemming from is, there's just a million different webs outside of there, so we're not limited in where this talent's coming from.
I couldn't agree more with you. And rugby's always been one of those sports where it's been notoriously known of having people from other sports that have been athletes that couldn't make it in those sports come over to our sports and then kill it.
Yeah.
Which is not to knock down rugby in any way. It's just a testament.
It's a hidden gem.
It's a hidden gem. It's a testament to just the athlete pool we have in the States.
Yeah.
And just the versatility of those people, too. Because think of it, if you're like a baseball player or a softball player, that's very hand-eye coordination. And that's a very specific skill that may not transfer over.
Yeah.
But we Americans, we love our contact sports.
Yeah, we like to be physical.
Or even if it's soccer, we still make it a contact game some way. So I feel like that's really cool to see those people who have never had rugby experience and then hop into a U18 game and smash it.
Yeah, and that's when you fall in love with the sport. I mean, when did you fall in love with the sport? I assume it was within the first game or two of playing it.
I could actually give you an exact detail about that.
I would love that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I was 14 years old, freshman in high school.
It was a rainy day, Tuesday, something like that.
Yeah, actually.
Fortune teller here.
So I my freshman year of high school, I was like an uber sports guy. I literally wanted to try every single sport in high school. So I did football fall, wrestling winter, rugby spring.
Okay.
So, but the wrestling went into rugby a little bit, I think a month. So I missed all the basics. I missed everything.
Oh, you missed the for dummies version.
I missed the dummies version. So I literally won my first day, a rainy Tuesday, and I remember it was classic because in February or something like that. I remember freshman not wearing basketball shorts.
Clearly the newbie.
Football cleats, weird socks and all that, and I remember coach just goes looks at me and then goes, "Are you new?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay, go." And I go, "What?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Just go." It and that's the trial by fire.
Yeah.
And then I literally was running around like a chicken with its head cut off, with all of my classmates going "What is this guy doing?" Here, there, physically moving me. And I had a sophomore that came up to me, and sorry, I forgot his name, but he came up to me and literally kind of mentored my first day into my first week.
Took you under his wing.
And then he took me under my wing and he literally said, just shadow me, stay right behind me, but don't do anything, but just kind of understand what I'm doing.
Just pick up on.
And then as soon as I got that was what really sold me on the game, was having that camaraderie, and having that mentorship where it's just hey, we don't care. Just come on, have some fun.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'll never forget that day because I almost was like, this is going to be a one and done for me.
Yeah.
Because I was not having fun.
Well, and it's scary. I mean, you show up, you got these big, intimidating people trying to hit each other, and
yeah.
there's only so much you can think.
Once upon a time, I was being intimidating.
Yeah.
But,
Can't say the same. Truthfully, I've always been the pipsqueak. That's all right.
What about you? Do you remember, like, your first, like, either welcome to rugby moment or the moment you fell in love with it?
I do. The moment I fell in love was definitely scored my first game. No one actually told me that you have to touch the ball down when you score, so I just kind of ran into the try zone and stood there, and then everyone started screaming at me, and I figured it out. But I think the most impactful moment for me, and my college captain, Charlie Jacoby, she's actually an Eagle now, so hopefully you're watching, Charlie. Here's your shout out. She was kind of bringing all the new people together and had us get into a single file line. Mm-hmm. And then she and then the other captain kind of stood just like this, facing the single file line, and they each had a ruck pad. And this is not the way you're supposed to do things at all, but they said, all right, run at the ruck pad, hit it as hard as you can. If you hit it one way, you're going to go be a back, and you hit it another way, you're going to go be a forward. And that was kind of how we separated people. So I got up, and if you don't know me, I'm a very, very competitive person. Like, people want to play Monopoly with me. And I ran up, and I hit it, and I knocked our one captain on her butt. And at the very end of practice, my captain, Charlie, came over, and she kind of grabbed my hand, like, wrestling, boxing style, and, like, raised it in the air, and she was like, this just goes to show that even if you're a small person, like, you can still do the big things and, like, do whatever you want. She set your mind to it, and blah, blah, blah. And then from there on out, they still didn't know what to do with me, so I played it back one game and then a forward another game, so I didn't really understand anything, but I'll never forget that. That was just kind of a nice little reinforcement of positivity.
That is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, that is classic.
Since then,
old
things
rugby.
have changed a little bit. You know, we're a little bit more following the regulations and whatnot. But it was literally hit the pad, you go this way or you go this way. And
I think Safe Sport would have had something to say about that. They'd have been like, concussion protocol. Actually, after hitting this pad, let's all go in that line.
Yeah, well, this is back in the last decade, so quite a bit of ways ago.
Yeah,
so
right.
It's good stuff, though.
Literally last decade. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. We're old now. Yikes.
Well, speaking of what's upcoming in this, not only new decade, but the new year and the new season with spring and everything. Yeah. So the HSBC Sevens will be taking place in LA on February 29th and March 1st. That's back-to-back days, if those of you don't know. Oh, and it's leap year.
So 28th, 29th, and 1st.
28, pretty sure it's just 2 days.
Well, the HSBC Sevens, but then you got the amateur tournament, which...
Well, yeah, I was going to get into.
Continue.
Hey.
Sorry, we got stuff to do.
No, so, so the 29th and the 1st is the professional circuit. And then the 28th is the invitational club.
There it is.
Okay, cool. Yep. And, so if you don't know about it, now you do. Please go on our website, check it out. Register your club if you still are interested in playing, and also get some tickets if you're in the area or feel like flying down there for the weekend. I know we're going to try to go. If we're not going to be working, I'm going to be trying going down just to view the games and catch up with some friends. So it's going to be a great time. LA in February.
Still warmer than where we're at currently.
Yes, please. Right? I don't mind ditching some snow and going for some sun and beaches.
Oh, no. I don't think that's a bad thing at all.
Right?
Yeah.
So we got both of our men's and women's. We're rocking top 5 right now, so that's nice. But I feel like home turf, not in Vegas too, so that's like a little bit of a weird thing where they're used to going to that town and performing there. But I mean, what do you think this means for LA? What do you think this means for USA in general? I mean, is it that much of a change, or is it just enough of a change to make it really cool and interesting?
Yeah, so, I mean, I've gone to Vegas the last couple of years. I've played, and then I've gone to the actual...
hold on one sec, sorry.
Yeah, thank you so much. Made it to the finals and lost last year, but that's okay.
Also made it to the finals.
It's fine. But I've enjoyed... Yeah, there it is. I mean, I love Vegas. Like, it was one of my favorite weekends every year. And I'm really excited for LA just because it's a new spot. It's a different kind of crowd of people. And, I mean, we had the Rugby World Cup Sevens in San Francisco, so in California. So I think kind of the amount of people and the energy that brought, that same group of people, that core is going to be able to go to LA as well. And hopefully we can do some damage there. I mean, I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be really energizing because just a brand new place. Like, you're not like, okay, like, here's where this is, here's how this goes, like the same old song and dance. It's something new, like it's revitalizing. It's gonna like wake you up and electrify you, and I think that is the
it's gonna electrify you.
I know, working on my vocab, 2020 resolution. It's gonna electrify. But yeah, so I'm personally really excited about it. I'm still trying to find a team to go and play with before actually watching the matches. So if you guys need anybody, let me know. Here's our email at the bottom.
No, that's her email at the bottom.
Yeah. But I'm really excited for it. I mean, and LA has just been a bucket list item for me. Also, just California.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong with it.
Yeah.
With San Diego being so close, we might even fiddle over there a little bit.
I know.
Who
like,
knows?
do I add on an extra day or two, like make a little vacation, and then my bank account's like, probably not, but
no, working
see.
vacation.
Yeah.
Come on.
Just checking out the area for next year.
For next year, right.
For scouting.
Yeah. Strictly professional sense. But
constantly.
No, I can't wait for it. I know we've been building it up over the last few months and just making big noise about it, which should be awesome. But yeah, I'm incredibly excited for it. Of course, the competition is going to be extremely quality, whether you're going to be seeing the invitational or the professional. And again, for all the information, we'll put it at the bottom there for you to check it out, register, get the tickets. Hope to see you there. But no, it's going to be a great time.
Yeah. Be there or be an L7 weenie.
Ooh!
This is your exciting time.
This is my exciting time. So we got the college and club, amateur club, not professional. All the seasons are kicking off January 11th. There may be a game or two trickled in before that, but more of like preseason stuff. But the gates will open on the 11th, and I'm incredibly excited for it because that means I'm a lot more busier, have a lot more things to talk with other people about, collaborate on, and just kind of spread the word about that. But all divisions, all genders are playing. We got NYRA, Inscro, D1, D2, D1 AA, men's and women's, D1A, all these things. And for the most part, it's going to be West Coast teams, Southern teams like Red River, South Conference, maybe a couple Carolinas here and there, but since the rest of the country is trying to defrost itself from the winter. The other part of the country doesn't get the snow will be kind of kicking off. So that's going to be really exciting. Got a lot of smashing games coming up on the opening month, so that should be a good time. How's Illinois State looking?
Our competitive season, that is my alma mater. I mean, if you can't tell, there's pink and blue. Competitive season's in the fall, so they won't be actually like competing in spring, but spring season's usually a big kind of fun social tournament type season for us. But at least, you've got those huge tournaments coming up, like there's Nash Bash and there's the Rugger Fests, like there's 10 of them, and that's usually where we kind of put our focus on. So it's a good time to recruit and just kind of get out there and like keep playing. You don't want to sit on your hind legs for 6 months and not play rugby.
Exactly. And that's the kind of the beauty of like, again, this is a touchy subject to some, but like, again, we don't want to dive too much into it, but the weather does permit you playing certain times, but that also lets you focus on 15s or 7 certain seasons and really hone in those strengths, or like playing these diverse tournaments that you're talking about. Like Aspen Rugger Fest is always a good one. Maggot Fest in Montana. All these really fun tournaments that you probably wouldn't be able to be a part of if you weren't in your 15 or if you were in 15s. So just being to go and doing those stuff or being in those tournaments is really cool. And I know I've competed in a couple in my time. And again, Jess is right. Some greatest memories, good friends you'll meet for the rest of your life. But I'm really stoked about this college season because we will be doing a press release about it soon. But I know the word is mostly out. But the D1A and D1 Elite, which is the men's and women's top tier collegiate divisions, will actually be combining their playoff at the same venue in the same weekends.
Right,
which would be which would be really cool. So again, I'm working on a press release which will be released hopefully by mid-January. We're just working out some details and exactly where or the times of where it's going to be. But I know that when the men's quarterfinals are going on, the women's will play their semis. Okay. And then when the men's semifinals is going on, the women will play their finals. And it's all in the same venue, so it's kind of like a huge collaborative effort with the two leagues and the two divisions moving forward. But I'm excited for what this could be, in the grand scope of collegiate rugby in the States. But,
that's exciting.
Yeah.
I want to go.
Yeah, right.
Where, and do we know where those are?
So still to be determined.
Okay.
I believe they're confirmed, but again, I just don't want to put out information and then have it, be reverted and anything like that. So, and I'm kind of saving my butt at the same time, but also putting out some good news out there for the rest of the people to kind of like look forward to. And I can tell you, we'll be in May.
Nice. Mark your calendars. Just box that whole month off.
I know that's so much information, but don't worry, guys. We're going to be releasing that for you shortly. Anywho, next up will be, let's do a nice little segment here. So taking a break, and we're just going to put up a couple of our sponsors and see you in a bit. Start and kick it off. So the biggest one for me was when the men's 15 beats the number 6 team in the world, Scotland, by 1 point. It was a 30-29.
That was wild. That was on the conversion, right?
Yeah.
That last second.
And so when that happened, I actually wasn't watching the game. I forgot what I was doing, but I was preoccupied. And then I just get a bunch of texts from my friends because obviously I'm the rugby guy in my friend group. So they go like, what's this? Why is USA Rugby trending right now? Like, something big happened. I go, what?
What do you mean?
Excuse me? So I literally go on internet, and then, boom, we beat Scotland, who was number 6 at the time. And then brought us up to our highest world ranking of all time, which I almost cried. Like, that was... I
didn't watch the game, but cried upon the results.
It was just knowing what that meant for, like, us and putting the right foot forward. And the momentum. And any come to mind for you? Like,
I think... For me, just kind of personally, after starting to work here was when I really started to kind of get into like keeping up and following the team. And, I follow the women's game quite a bit because I've played with and against a couple of people that play for them. I'd say that the 2018 World Cup was pretty cool. I mean, I know that we made a splash and we had a couple of younger players that kind of showed up and they did their thing. And I don't know, that was just really cool for me. And it was also one of the first like larger events since I started working here that I got to watch it with like all my coworkers, all my fellow rugby nerds, and even being able to recognize a lot of those players on the field, I think was pretty cool. And I think we finished 4th, I believe. We were top 4, and that wasn't as expected, I think, as some people might have thought. So I think kind of going off of that success into the Super Series we had last year and all of that, and even just our women's sevens team, like we've been very consistent lately. Like we've been doing very well, and we have a very solid group of players. And it's taken a couple of years to get there, but I think watching them get a gold medal this past year, I know that's probably a cop out because it's 2019 of the decade, but getting that gold medal, like I got to see that happen live, and that was just super inspiring.
We were both there.
It was great. Everyone was just like on their feet and cheering, and the moms were running out onto the field to try and go and see their kids, and then we saw the haka happen, and then we got that gold medal, got to walk across the stage, and it was a wild time.
Pretty cool to beat New Zealand and then to beat Australia to get gold on your home turf.
Yeah, those are not 3 things that are usually used in the same.
When you're going up against like Michaela Blythe and like Charlotte Caslick and those type of characters and like world-renowned women rugby players, and all of a sudden like you're seeing them, it's like she's right there. Like as far as here, I'm like, that's wild. I'm like,
you're like, oh my God, Charlotte Caslick.
Chris
started to blush a little bit.
Charlotte.
If you're watching, Charlotte, let him know.
Just a big fan. Just a big fan. That's all. But yeah, it was pretty surreal. Not only be that close to the players. But to see our own take it home.
We did it.
And also Nicole Everland, she got a big shout out.
She won the award.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it.
I remember the award, but our CEO gave it to her.
Yeah.
And it was a big deal.
And it was a very big surprise for her. She was shocked. I was actually standing kind of by her family, like when they all came out, and they were like, "Hey, something's about to happen," and it just like it looked like a whole whirlwind thing. But it was just very like pure raw emotion.
Right. And that was really cool to see, and have her family be all right, literally her entire family be right there and supporting her and cheering her on.
Yeah.
But again, that was a wild crowd, and that is one of the better stadiums for rugby in the States because it's very intimate.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes down, and everyone's on top of you.
It gives you a nice little gladiator type feel.
Yes.
You're on display. These are the people you have to entertain and you have to impress, and you're there to represent, and then it's a bloodbath. I mean, it's rugby. Everyone's just kind of beating up on each other in the best way possible, and everyone's cheering for it, and it's a good time.
Yeah. And the city of Glendale, at least speakeasies and bars, they earn their keep that night for sure. But
it's rugby. What are you gonna do?
But anyway, I guess that's about wrapping it up here. Anyway, thank you so much, y'all, for joining us, tuning in, and catching up on our first ever Between the Posts podcast in the brand new decade.
2020.
New year, new me, right?
Yeah. No, I'm staying the same. I'm
staying the same. Actually, I had an interesting take on that, where it's everyone does I'm going to do these extravagant things for New Year's and I'm going to change my life drastically.
Every single year.
Where it's okay, if 1,000 people say that, maybe 10 are doing it, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's for the majority of us, we just set the bar too high and we fall off because it's, No, I've been a part of that too, where I'm hey, I want to, if I'm running, I want to run 10 miles by the end of the year. I'm I'm at 5 in December. I'm I'm never going to make it. So I felt, and I've heard this and I've read this in articles, that improve yourself either one thing a day or improve yourself 1% a day. Yeah, just little increments along the way, and it's almost building on what you built the previous day, and over time you're going to see those improvements and not expect I'm going to lose 30 pounds in 2 weeks. And
back to Christmas presents, one last thing. Not that you guys actually care. My mom got me, it's called an unspirational calendar, and I should show you. It's on my desk over there.
You should have brought it in.
I know I should have. So every day it basically, it's a reality check, so to speak. So January 1st was, in big, black, bold writing, was, why bother? You're already going to ruin this year anyways. So, that's how I started my 2020, with a little inspiration from my mother. If you guys are looking for something along those lines, go ahead and Google the Unspiration calendars. So it's going to be keeping me on my toes from here on out. Yesterday's, in case you guys are wondering, was, would anyone even notice if you didn't get out of bed and go to work today? So that's the energy that I'm taking into 2020.
Wait, you said you're talking about the best presents you got. You didn't mention the one that showed up on your desk yesterday.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'm telling you guys her best presents. All right, before we sign out, this is literally Jess.
To a T.
This is just to get to know us a little bit more. Mm-hmm. So, Jess, can you please give a little bit of a preface into what it was, the relationship you have with this person, and then the actual gift you got.
So once upon a time ago, my old coworker, her name is Logan. Love her dearly. She's basically my work wife.
Shout out, Logan.
She has since moved on to bigger and better things, but we still keep in contact. And I came back from break to this large Amazon box just sitting on my desk. And I was okay, this is weird. And it was my middle name was written on the box. And I know that because she calls me by my middle name all the time, which no, I will not be repeating for you guys. And I opened it up and I was not sure what it was. And this is literally me to a T. So there were a couple stress balls because, everyone gets stressed out from time to time. They're unbreakable stress balls. A bag of 145 pieces of assorted candy, because who doesn't have a sweet tooth, especially while in the office. And the creme de la creme, which I think is what got everyone in the office's attention. 3 giant family-sized bottles of ranch dressing. 2 original buttermilk ranch and 1 chipotle ranch. And they're sitting in my snack cabinet, just waiting to be devoured. And
snack cabinet.
I do have a snack cabinet.
She has a snack cabinet.
Yeah.
You know, like the little drawers that you pull out underneath the desk. No. She's got some in there. There's upper cabinets, which we have, and it's as soon as you pull it up, everyone has documents or rugby jerseys or
important things,
whatever. And then just Jess, it's oh, what do you want? Pretzels, chips and dip.
You got the sweet, you got the savory, you got the chocolate, and now we have our own ranch section. So it's actually right by my maple syrup. So
better not put that in the fridge. That's gonna be gone.
No, I put my name on it, so everyone knows not to touch it.
Yeah,
so.
Everyone knows putting names on things really prevents other people from eating.
Yeah, but you don't want to get in the way with me and my ranch. So on that note.
So this is the fabled snack jar.
I can make it look bigger than it actually is, but oh yeah.
And then the present, you got your favorite present for Christmas? Okay. Good. And it could go on your bagels or your chocolates or your syrup. Is that syrup in the back?
Yeah.
Do you have syrup?
I have Eggo waffles in the freezer.
All right.
Just another day here.
Thanks, Jess. Thanks for another look into the life.
Anything for you guys.
For you. But again, thank you so much for joining us, Jess.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure, and I feel like we're going to get the hang of this sooner or later.
Yeah, don't judge us too much. Mostly me. He's the professional. I just got dragged in.
So hopefully we'll get one of these. We're going to maybe aim for 2 in the future, but at least 1 a week just to keep you guys updated on news, events, anything that's happening around here, and just all around USA Rugby stuff. So again, thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you next time.
Bye. Oh my God.
Yeah.
There we go.